click on that, it will minimize that. So it'll give you a little more screen space. I always minimize mine. Okay, so now Jalen should be looking at my screen. And I'm going to enable my drawing tablet. So let's just check a couple things out here. Can she tell me what number I just wrote? Okay, good. That means you're seeing my screen. Okay, so refresh me a little bit. Jalen, what kind of math are we studying today? Okay. Do you have? Okay. So the way I usually do my tutoring sessions is I have the students present the problem. I will write it on my drawing tablet, and then we'll try to solve it together. Okay? Sure. Yep, that's fine. Huh? Okay. Okay. Give me the function. Which way is the arrow? Is it a greater than or a less than? Okay, here. This one means greater than. This one means less than. So you're saying it looks like that? Okay. What's the rest? This sounds like a piecewise function. Like that. Like this. Okay, that leaves an area between -6 and 6, where y is equal to something else. You said, I'm not sure, is this a three-piece function, or is it just two pieces? Then something's wrong, because this would notice that, well, no, okay. So if y is, okay, so this function is defined only between -6 and 6. All right. So let's figure out how to graph it. Okay, I'm going to graph for you. You can choose whichever option you want. Okay. Now the only problem is these are conflicting. So there's a problem with how you've given it to me. It doesn't make sense the way this is. Might make sense if it was reversed, if it was x is greater than 6, But see, the problem with this is there's this whole area in between here where we need a function, because we're only dealing with a domain from 6 to -6. And what you've told me is that it's that, but it's also this. Well, it can't be both at the same time. So piecewise functions need to be split up a little bit. Well, let me see if I can make you the presenter for a moment. Because I think there's something wrong. There's something not right here. Problem was last time. Okay, let me. Oh, I know what I have to do. I have to click on you and make you the presenter. I don't do that quite right. I'm not. Are you getting any messages to share your screen? Click that. That same problem happened to a student yesterday that I was working with, where they would not let me see his screen. There may be just something on your laptop that is preventing me from looking at your screen. So that's not an option. Let's see, let me go back to me being the presenter. What's going on here? Okay, I know how to do it now. Why? They've just recently changed this. Are you still seeing my screen? Not anymore? How about now? You're not seeing what I wrote on my what? Okay, yeah, that's not right. Here we got it. Let me get back to the base here. Okay. Let me again. Now you're seeing my screen. And okay, and let's see if we can figure out what's going on. There's another way to do this, and that is, can you send me or tell me what the web address is of your online material? I will log in and I will fill in the answers as we go through the problems. And that way I will be seeing it. Okay, let me go there first. Okay. So, let's do this. Okay, can you still see my screen? So it's loading up here. One thing when we're running GoToMeeting is, so if you have like lots of stuff running in the background, you should close it. Okay, so I'm oh, can only one be in it at the same time? Okay, go ahead. Log out of it. And then I see a log in. Okay. really time to do a full test. That's not usually students anyway. I want to make sure you're learning. So if you know, break down from see what it is. Okay, student log. Okay. My service is control of mine. It shouldn't have anything to do with the event. Logged in, go to meeting, and use all right, what is your username? T-O-R-R, what? Torah? There's no S, just the letter X? Okay. Never seen anything that accepts one password. That's pretty. Very long one? Your mom explained that to me. I just remembered. So you're a senior that's trying to graduate. Wow. Is it done? Oh, mm. Uh-huh. Okay, so you're seeing my screen still? Okay, so what should I hit here? The math part, next activity? it looks like this is more of a to get you to there we go. So is it going to show me the problem we were just trying to do? Yeah, it does. Okay, notice that says less than -6. The way you gave it to me was less than 6. And that makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so let me, let's see, can I blow this up a little bit? Is there a way to expand this or not? I don't really need to, I suppose. What I do need to do is, let's do this. All right. The fact that it is less than -6 means everything. Because if we look at this, let's see here. I do want to look at all 4. You know what? I can't do it anymore. I don't need to. I'm just going to graph this, and then I'll look at all 4 charts. So here's what we're looking at. If I can draw it over here. Okay. When you're looking at a piecewise function, always focus on that first. That explains everything. The domain. That's what the domain is. Okay? So first of all, here, yeah, well, kind of. But that's the way to look at piecewise functions. Okay? So there's -6. So what we know, I'm going to draw a dotted line here. And everything over here is going to be this function -x minus 6. You with me? And look at my chart, my pink chart, not the underlying background chart. Everything greater than -6, let me use a different color. Everything over here is going to use the function 2x plus 12. That's the way piecewise charts work. So think of it as dividing your XY graph into 2 areas vertically. We have everything on the left of -6, and we have everything to the right of -6. You understand? Okay. So if I'm well, that's probably not a good idea. It really is. Don't write. Here's why. First of all, you're going to get a recording of this. Okay, so you don't need to take notes. But second of all, when you're taking notes, it decreases the understanding and interaction of what we're doing, what I'm saying. So you don't need to take notes because you're going to get a recording. You can review it on the recording, and if you want to take notes then, that's fine. But it's much better if we're interacting. I'm asking questions, you're answering them, and you're not trying to spend your time taking notes. Okay? So we have this graph here that I've put the x-axis and the y-axis on in red, and I've drawn a vertical line through the -6, and we have 2 sections. We have the section to the left, and we have the section to the right of that dotted line. Okay? Now, if we want to graph, just for the heck of it, let's do the section to the right first. Okay? Still in blue. Where are we going to start that? How do you graph 2x plus 12? It's already solved. It's y equal 2x plus 12. How do you graph that? Where do you start? First of all, start at the y-intercept. Where's the y-intercept? Okay, this is in the format y equal mx plus b. Right? Are you familiar with that format? That's the equation of a line. B means where it crosses the y-intercept. M is its slope. So you were talking about the slope, which is fine, but the starting place is B. And in this case, it's 12. Okay? So, yeah, because of this 12 right here. Okay? So I'm going to start at 12, which is somewhere up there. Okay? And then I'm going to apply the slope. What's the slope? Correct. So you get a slope by rise over run. Okay? So I know the slope is 2 over 1. So I'm basically going to go down 2 and left 1. That gives me a positive slope and takes me to the dotted line. Now, do I have an open circle or a closed circle where it intersects the dotted line? I have a closed circle because this is greater than or equal to. If it was strictly open circle means just greater than or less than. If it's greater than or equal, it's a closed circle. Okay? Okay. So that is everything to the right of the dotted line we have graphed. And this goes out to infinity, so you put an arrow on it like that. Okay? Now we have to address the left side of the graph, which is the top function, minus x minus 6. Okay, I'm going to draw that in green. How would I graph that? Where would I start? Minus 6. Yeah, don't drop negative signs. That's the worst thing you can do in math. If you see a negative sign, it's important. So you can't just call that 6. It's negative 6. So if I were going to graph it, I would go down here to negative 6. I can graph this a couple of ways. I'll show you this way, which is a little more understandable, and then I'll show you a better way to do it. Okay, what is the slope of this green line? Here's the slope, m. So it's the coefficient of m. Excuse me, it's the coefficient of x. What's the coefficient of x? Negative 1. In other words, here's the x, right? So that's the coefficient. There's a negative, and then there's in other words, there's a 1 there also. We understand the 1, even though it's not exactly. Okay. So now I know what my slope is. Okay. So I can go over 1, up 1. So I would have this line here, something like that. Okay. But this green line is only in effect when it's less than 6. So I really need to go in and erase part of the green line so that it starts right there. And that's a piecewise function. In other words, the green line represents the function everywhere to the left of minus 6. The blue is the blue line. Okay. So, yeah, I again am not, let me close this out. Hold on a second. Either way. This one does it. Let me scroll down. What did you say it was? C? Yeah, it is C. Okay. So I need to put that in, huh? I'm the one. Yep. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. Evaluate. Okay, so I made a mistake by moving to this problem. Well, I don't understand this problem. Evaluate what? No, it doesn't make any sense. The part that I'm seeing does not make sense as a math question. Pay close attention to all brackets and signs. Well, wow. No, it does make sense. Now I understand it. This is like the least integer function? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you have a number of functions similar to this. Not used to students getting least integer functions. Usually, I believe, I don't deal with this that much, but that's greatest integer function. I don't know. You can let me know if you know. And that is least integer function. We're going to assume that it's greatest integer function. No, we can't because there's no n. Well, first of all, you have to evaluate each one. So what is that? What is that equal to? What number? Well, it all depends on what this means. Yeah, they say pay close attention to the brackets. Can you look it up? Do you have any way of looking it up? I don't get this question from anybody. Can you tell me what that means? Is it greatest integer function or least integer function? And I think it has to do with whether the roof is on top or not. I'm pretty sure I know what the answer has to be here. Yeah. It's going to take way too long to explain. I will just go ahead and answer it. Do they tell you whether you get it right or not? Only at the end of the quiz. The problem is we're not going to have time to do that. In fact, we're past the half-hour thing. So it might be better if you schedule this for another time and we'll finish this quiz or take another one or something. But I need for you to at least understand what these things mean. Like, what does that mean? No, there's a very, very special function called the greatest integer function. It tends to look like this. And if I say, what's the greatest integer there? It's 5. If it was 5.9, it would still be 5. If it was 6.0, it would be 6. In other words, it says, what is that number there? What is the number to the left of the decimal point? Okay? No, not in this case, because that's not what we're looking at here. We're looking at this. I don't know exactly what that means. I suspect that that means the least integer function instead of the greatest. Yeah, and I think what we're going to be faced with, that's still, I think, yeah, exactly. I'm not positive. It never comes up for me. So I don't know which is which. But my guess is that that is 5. And if you look at the other one, the minus 2.01, that one has to be 3. Because then when you, or negative 3, excuse me. Because then when you add the two together, you get B, answer B. And I would bet anything that B is the correct answer. Normally I might have said 3 would be the correct answer, but 3 isn't a choice. So that's why I asked if you knew the meaning of these things. And I don't right offhand. I suspect it's least integer function instead of greatest. I'm pretty sure that when there's the roof is on top, it's least, and when the floor is on the bottom, it's greatest. But I'm not 100% sure of that. I would have to look it up. Yeah, I'm going to understand 99% of what you present me, but this is a little strange. This is a little different. And so I'm not 100% sure on here, although given the only answers, I'm quite certain that 2 is the correct answer, which means that this is the least integer function. 5 would still be the least integer. But over here with negative 2.01, negative 3 would be the least integer. Not negative 2, negative 3. In other words, the fact that it's minus 2.01, the least integer, yeah, well, no, if you go on a number line, if we look at a number line, okay, here's 0, here's minus 2, here's minus 2.01, but they want this integer over here, which is minus 3. So the answer to that right there is minus 3. And then if you add the least integer of 5.1, which is 5, to the least integer of minus 2.01, which is minus 3, you get 2. And that has to be what they mean. And the more I think about it, the more that definitely is the case. So yeah, when you're doing least integer function, you go to the left of the number, basically. You put it on a number line and you go as far left as you need to find another integer. In other words, there's where's the point right there. Well, the least, I got to go to the left, and the next integer I find is minus 3. Okay? Okay. I will let you go, Jalen, for now. At least you kind of have an idea how the online tutoring works. And there's no charge for this first session. And if your mom wants to schedule other sessions here, she knows how to schedule it because she scheduled this one. So she can do it, and she can pay with PayPal or Zelle. Those are the 2 options. Okay, here, let me do that while I'm still online with you here. So save and exit. Okay. It's done. And logging out of the meeting. And we'll log you out. So Jalen, it was nice to meet you, and hopefully we'll have a chance again. Yeah. Well, it kicked in some memories of mine also. So, because there is a difference between greatest integer function and least integer function, and it depends on where the top. Yeah. Okay. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you next time.